14, 30. So yeah, obviously, bro, we just won 5 goals to 1. For me, before I take you back of my thoughts along the 90, I would say the good things. Obviously, Charlie Patino has scored is fantastic for Halen. Balogun got some minutes, didn't shine too much. I think people are going a bit OTT with Balogun as they did in a positive way. So the same way is going to be negative. I think he got into the right positions, put himself about, but as you lot know, the quality, the speed of thought, even against a League One side, it's got to be 10 times better in it. A lot of things you can do at 23's level does not prepare you. Eddie Nketiah hat trick as well. Certain other man in the team can't say that. And to say you scored a hat trick for Arsenal Football Club is something I dreamed of doing, and I'm sure a lot of you did. So good night for the Haaland boys. Good cameo for Granit Xhaka. I think Odegaard had a good game. Obviously, Pepe's got a goal and an assist. He might actually have 2 assists. He's got a goal and assist, and he's just not Meggy man. So yeah, we're through to the next round. We keep winning. We keep doing a lot of these things. I can't complain about none of this, man. The only thing is I would say, yeah, we won 5-1, but I think it was closer than the scoreline suggested. And I personally, I just think the fact that we're a Premier League side, respectfully, and they're a League One side made the difference. The overall quality, they just couldn't cope with. I think Sunderland will gain more plaudits. Not that we could gain a lot, but I think Sunderland, the scoreline was harsh. Saying that, they've conceded all these goals, so it's not harsh. I think they battled. I think they worked hard. At times they kept us pinned in our own half. They were difficult to break down. They fought. There was a couple of occasions they could have scored a bit more. It is what it is. I did think it was quite sloppy. It was quite lethargic. I think the standards weren't quite there on the pass at times, and we was losing it. I feel the communication, we looked disjointed, like in the midfield, and whether it's been the strongest team or a rotated team, I think we've question marked the transition or the defensive transition today. We've done that against Leeds. We've done that against Spurs in the second half. We've done that against Villa. We've done that against Leicester. We've done that on many occasions this season. So we still need to play well for 90. With the exceptions of probably Pepe, I don't really, and even that, I don't really feel any of the fringe players have, in terms of immediate thinking, and forced their way into Mikel Arteta's plans, with the exception of maybe Nketiah. I say with the exception because Arteta just tells us he's in your plans, really. But end of the day, we done what we needed to do. We're through in the cup. We keep some little form going. We take a bit of momentum going into the game against Norwich. No one was injured. It is what it is. I do think, again, we kind of struggled at times physically in that first half. We didn't play as fluid as we could. I do think, we was quite sloppy, and I do think we killed people's games. Like, it's no coincidence when Granit Xhaka came on, Tavares is going forward. Somehow El Nene's flinging balls forward. Pepe seeing a bit more joy in further forward positions. Prior to that, it was probably all the joy coming down Pepe and Cedric's side. And even that was a mixed bag of things, really, if I'm completely honest with you. So if I go all the way back to the first half, I do think it was good bite from both teams in the first 5 minutes. I did feel, it looked like a typical cup game. We need to wake up, though, because we've got high standards, or we've been introducing high standards, and we need to bring a bit more. I feel around the 10-minute mark, I feel Sunderland are getting forward way too easily, again, on our transition. They've got 10 men in our half. They've got a low block, and we're struggling to cope with that. You can see a lot of ring rust in the team. The passes aren't quite crisp. I think we need to raise the quality generally a bit. I think you could tell which players weren't consistently playing football if you didn't know anything about Arsenal. I think the first half was very even. I do think in the first half, I wanted to see a bit more. When we did press them, there was mistakes. Like, their number 6 was just giving, anytime Pepe pressed, was getting the ball. We didn't do that. I feel anytime we're playing a team where we're 2 divisions above, and it's a giant killing and all them things, and it's a cup game, you've got to look to kill their confidence. And obviously, the longer you do not score, the more confidence they're getting. So yeah, we're allowing them to build confidence. We're allowing the 7,000 traveling fans to give them that sort of edge and whatnot. So it is what it is. It was obviously fortunate to bag when we did. Eddie Nketiah has scored a typical Nketiah finish, really. Holding's done well in the building blocks to it. We're starting to look a bit better on the ball beyond that mark, really, really and truly. Obviously, Pepe's helped us and made it 2-0. It's lovely from Pepe, Odegaard and Cedric in particular. Pepe's obviously bagged, puts us 2-0 up. Now, when we conceded, I think them warning blocks were coming. There was times Ben White was getting angry. You know, Cedric weren't pulling in. The midfield's not looking over their shoulders. We're very disjointed. And I think that goal was coming because there was warning signs. Now, Smith Rowe has lost the ball way too cheaply. Pepe potentially needs to bring his man down. El Nene and Odegaard aren't good enough on the defensive transition. Ben White hasn't done well. We're caught with a high line. Leno's the last line of defense, and there's several other options this could have been stopped at. I think Leno's come out way too easily and made my man's decision up for him, and it's a confident finish. And at 2-1, you know, that gives them a bit. Now at halftime, you're looking at it as, you know, they've got nothing to lose. They probably think Arsenal are overrated and they match us. You know, their manager spoke about blood and thunder and all them things. You're wary of this. You are very wary of this going into the second half. So I did like, you know, how before we get into the second half, man, I did feel probably the last 10 minutes of the first half were probably Sunderland's brightest stage. They put us under pressure. And, you know, I do think they deserved their goal. And they were doing quite well. So at halftime, as I said, Sunderland are battling. They're trying to play. I think we need to keep the high standards or reinstall the high standards we've set previously. On occasion, I've seen Pepe, Cedric holding it actually, and mainly Odegaard make things. I like how Balogun's putting himself around, but I do think he's struggling on that left-hand side. And I do think, you know, his decision-making isn't quite there. I don't think Tavares trusts the transition, but I think Tavares was probably a bit too withdrawn than I thought. And I think when you saw Xhaka come in, he clearly had that confidence that, you know what, he'll back himself to get back in a foot race. Xhaka is there to buy him some time. But yeah, I did feel we should have been. Well, what we've got Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Tavares, Pepe, all these guys on the team sheet, and I didn't think you would know that. And at best, I did want to see Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Tavares, all these guys creating overloads. And I think in that first half, really, with the exception of Odegaard getting involved and obviously Eddie's goal, it's really just Pepe and Cedric, and even that Cedric. And as I said, to go back to the goal, Cedric, not to let Cedric escape. Cedric's not covering if I didn't make that clear as well. There was a couple of times Cedric's vacated out of his place. Bit of a mixed bag. I feel for the neutrals, it's open. I feel we're not communicating. We look disjointed. There's a lack of intensity. And we're at 6s and 7s. And when you look at the halftime statistics, we had 11 shots, they had 7. They had 4 shots on target to our 6. They had 3 corners, we had 2. So there's not really much in it, really, and we need to make it reflect such. They're working hard, they're difficult to break down, they're believing they could win this. I do think Smith Rowe is struggling with the physical battle. I think Odegaard needs better players to link up within the final third. I feel it's very predictable what we're doing down the right-hand side. Balogun's had a couple of chances, but beyond that, it's not quite levels. You know, I did feel we did well to score when we did. You know, I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, quite a few goals were scored, but it was good to obviously see Eddie and Nketiah get on the score sheet again and make it 3-1. It was a fantastic bit of skill from Eddie. Well, I can't even remember the role in which the goals were scored, but I'd say Eddie Nketiah's hat-trick goal is what made the difference for me, people, because Tavares has done well. All the left-footed players are involved. I'm sure Odegaard's involved. Pepe's evaded his man. Xhaka's got involved. Tavares has got involved. And obviously Eddie Nketiah eventually cute flick. Pepe's nutmeg someone, which we all saw him do on occasion. I do think Xhaka gave us a lot more confidence and a lot more stability. And for those of you that was in my watch along, again, it was pretty predictable. But I think I said it, and I think it was a given. You needed to shift Smith Rowe out wide or do something in that regards. Probably clip Balogun for Xhaka. I was actually tempted to do that at half time, but when Xhaka came on, it gave us a lot. It was obviously lovely to see Patino get on the score sheet. Fantastic moment for him to make his debut, let alone score. It's a great moment for the young lad, and hopefully there's many more to come, people. So yeah, ultimately, apart from making it more of an even contest and conceding, generally we did what we could. Sunderland can, you know, ultimately they lost 5-1 and they didn't go through to the next round, but they can be proud for themselves. Eddie scored a hat-trick, and they were all typical instinctive finishes, and hopefully we can get some money in January for him, or, you know, we can get some clarity over his future. I think Odegaard was very good, you know, good performance from Pepe. Ultimately, we did the hard part, but yeah, man, I don't think a few players really took their chances, and yeah, we did to kind of take the handbrake off. And I do think the fact that we're a Premier League team and have levels more quality than Sunderland made the difference, really, really and truly. I do think we controlled the second half, in my opinion, yeah, really and truly, and that was more what I wanted to see. And yeah, now the focus, you know, young players have got opportunities. We've scored some good goals. You know, there's some fantastic talking points. We've got another win in December. let's just focus on Norwich now. You know, Norwich Wolves. Let's do what we need to do in it. It's going to be tough at Carrow Road. Equally, Wolves have been quite good against the big teams. They've worked Liverpool. They've worked City. Probably deserve something more from both of them games. VAR helping City. You know, they got a point off Chelsea. Again, if there was no VAR, might have bagged 3 points. A depleted Chelsea, yes, but they're going to be tough. And, you know, it's a festive period. And, you know, as a token of getting through December, we've got a reward against City. So, you know, it's good today. Let's focus. You'd imagine that, you know, the Sakas, the Lacazettes, the people who didn't play today, they're going to be in training. And yeah, Arteta's probably knowing him. He'll watch this game again and probably watch some Norwich games before he goes to sleep. And the building blocks begin. What's it for the weekend, people? Is well, it is in that regard. Arsenal 5-1 Sunday.